We should be live. Hello, everybody. All right, I am going to bring this up. Oh, there I am. All right. So here we are with the beautiful, hello. Let's see.
Be live.
Okay.
Hello.
All right. This is wonderful. So we are now live, Lisa. It's so good to have you here. And let me just see. Hey, Kaylee, it's great to see you. I have one of my all-time favorite clients here. So we're very, very excited. If you're coming on, please say hello. I told everybody about this call, so hopefully we'll have lots of people here. Hang on, I'm just sharing this. Okay. Okay. All right, here we go. I'm going to share this on a couple of platforms, and then we're good to go. Hi, everybody. Hi, Paula and Emma. There's some great people here tonight. This is so exciting. And Karen, hello, Karen. Wendy, yes. This is fantastic. All right, I'm just sharing this to a couple of places so that nobody misses this wonderful, wonderful conversation. Give me 2 more seconds, everyone. I wish there was a better, faster way to do this, but oops, I already did that one. There's just one more place to share, and then we're good to go. Hey, Brenda, good to see you. Okay, one last place, and then we are gonna, hi, Anne. It's good to see everybody here. Linny and Kelly, hi. All right, I got to meet Kelly the other day, which was absolutely amazing. All right, everybody. So I want to introduce my amazing client, Lisa Cohen. Lisa, you want to say hi?
Hi, everybody. It's great to be here.
Yeah, many of you know Lisa, so she's not new to everybody. Lisa has been, is just graduating my Emotionally Naked Dating coaching program, and she is here. She has graciously offered to share with everybody her journey. So, Lisa, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me.
You are welcome. I have been looking forward to this all day. Oh, hi, Martha. Great to see you here. And Anne, it's good to see everyone. So, Lisa, let's talk about, you and I started our journey. Hi, Kay. Good to see you. We started our journey on a phone call. Can you share with our audience, with everybody who's listening, how did you first find me?
I found you by seeing an interview with you and Benjamin that another coach had hosted. And when I saw the two of you together, I thought to myself, I have never in my 61 years of, well, back then it was 60 years of life, witnessed the love that you and Benjamin share with each other, ever. I have never seen two people more in love. The way he looks at you, the way you respond to him, the energy between the two of you. And I thought to myself, this woman has the secret recipe and I want
it. Cool. And so you watched my webinar, right? There was a free gift for that summit, I guess. And you went and watched my webinar, and then you signed up for a call with me.
I did.
Uh-huh.
And when I signed up for the call with you, I had gone through 5 other love coaches, participated in their program, and not gotten much in the way of results at all. And my biggest fear was dying without ever knowing the love that I wanted to experience with a man that I identified in my profile that Benjamin wrote for me.
And Lisa, tell us a little bit, if you would elaborate, because I do think one of the big pieces of this story is that you really had been going from program to program to program, and you actually enlisted the help of these coaches. You worked directly with them, right, in their courses, their programs. You didn't just buy an online course or whatever. You actually hired them, just like you worked directly with me. What was it? What was missing from those programs?
Well, what was missing was the heart-centered approach that you have and how you show up, Lisa. It's very obvious that you care about your clients and that you really want to see them succeed, and you roll up your sleeves and get in there with them to do what it takes to make this become a reality for them. You are, and you must be getting sick of hearing this from me, you are absolutely brilliant. Right away, you tuned into exactly what I needed to do and what the missing pieces were.
And what were those, Lisa? What were those?
Well, I had no idea that I have an avoidant.
I didn't speak up because you're
sorry. So I had no idea that I have an avoidant attachment style. And I was running this whole program in my mind subconsciously that I was completely unaware of. I would show up on the phone on a date with making assumptions, with my list of things that could possibly be wrong with each man, and that were. My mind was the judge, the jury, and the whole courtroom. So this is what kept me single since my divorce. And it's almost 13 years that I've been divorced. I had 2 relationships since then, both with avoidant men, no surprise there, and nothing ever came of them. So when we had our first call, I told you that you are my last hope. Nothing I had done with any of the other coaches worked. I would get first dates, maybe one time in 12 years, a second date.
Wow.
Independent of those 2 relationships I had. And the clock's ticking. I'm getting older, and I want it to happen. And I decided if it doesn't, that would be very tragic.
And you worked with some pretty well-known coaches, right? Like some people that really are out there. And one of the things I know you said was that they just gave you strategies.
Right.
Can you talk about that, Lisa? Because this is so important for people to understand. I'm really wanting to just, for people to understand that there is such a huge variety, how do I say this? Between like the quality of, from coach to coach. And just because somebody says, they're a love coach, they don't dig deep enough, a lot of them, right?
Right. They didn't dig deep enough with me. And one coach, I was hearing about this person's arguments with their spouse. And it happened more than once. And I thought to myself, that's not who I want to coach me. And I was not in agreement about this person's behavior and the situations that they described in their arguments with their spouse. And, also having a background as being a counselor for a long time, I knew exactly what I wanted in a coach and what I needed to have happen for me in my work with a coach. A lot of strategies: lean back, don't say this to a man, don't say that to a man. If you do too much for a man, you're going to emasculate him, blah, blah, blah. Never double text a man. And so the message was just sit back and let the man do for you. Well, let me tell you, I was on a date with a great man on Sunday. I was telling him about your program. And I told him one of the things that you focused on with us is to make our partner's happiness as much of a priority as our own. And he said, wow. He said, that's the type of partner I want. He said, I'm always the one that has to carry the weight of making my partner happy. And I said, well, that's not the way that my coach taught us. She teaches us to make our partner's happiness just as much of a priority. So, and I don't lean back. I lean forward because it is natural for me to want to engage, and my body just takes me there. So I've thrown everything out that I learned with the last 5 coaches, And I have hung on to every word that you have said in all of our calls, on the calls with me, and in your videos.
And Lisa, what are you seeing? Like, what's different? Because you're a different person. I mean, you look like 20 years younger. You're radiant. You're totally alive. You're getting barraged with messages, right? Men are reaching out to you left, right, and center. So tell me, like, what changed?
Well, I changed, and I feel like, see, I had no idea that I'd be working as deeply as I did in your course, Lisa. When I had that first call with you, I thought to myself, I'd already done so much work on myself. Well, was I ever surprised? Let me tell you. The day that I was on the call and cried like a baby in front of 35 women and had a breakthrough was incredible. And having come out, a couple of weeks from that afterwards, I feel better than I can ever imagine. And I got to know the real me under all those walls that I had up, which were broken down in your course. And that's how I'm showing up, in our group with the women, with Ben. My relationships with my family members are better. My whole life has changed, and it's because of you. And, this has been a bittersweet week for me. It's bitter because I didn't want to leave the program. I love you and all of the women so much, and sweet because I completed it and I gave it my all.
Yeah, you did. You showed up like, I don't know, you played full out. I think you asked questions. When I do the breakthrough calls, I will say to women, take up space. Don't be afraid. Ask a question on every single call. Come on every call. Just, this is your course, make the most of it. You're going to get into it you're going to get out of it what you put into it. And you took all of that and just showed up. You put your phone number there. You asked women to call you. You've reached out to women. You've supported these, you've become, I don't know how many friends you have from this thing. And you told me on our exit call that you didn't really even have, there were having all these female friends and all this attention is really new for you. Is that true?
It's true. I only had 1 to 2 friends at the most. And I was very much an introvert. And I thought that's got to change because I felt isolated, lonely. And it's not the way I want to feel. I love receiving text messages and phone calls from my sisters.
And you're so there for, them, and they love you. Look at how you came out of your shell. And this was in a 3-month coaching course.
Yeah. Yeah. I was a shy child. So, yeah.
And Lisa, talk about your profile and just the response that you're getting from all of these men and how it's different than what it was like before.
Okay. So when I sat down to write all my notes for Benjamin, I really gave him a lot of material, and he even commented on that to me. And I remember that day just getting very quiet and making sure that I was putting the truth of who I am, my essence, into those notes. And that's exactly how it showed up in my profile. I don't talk about a lot of activities that I like. It's about my essence and what a man can experience in a relationship with me. So that, when I read the profile for the first time, when Benjamin sent it back, my first thought was, oh my God, is this me? And then I read it 2 more times, and then I read it from the point of view of a man. And I remember Benjamin saying that the reader will get a sense of how sensual I am. And that's exactly what happened. And I never imagined that I would receive this much interest from men. I mean, last weekend, I had 11 men interested in me. I woke up to 6 messages on one of the dating sites this morning, and it's just been almost surreal. It's been surreal, and I've been having so much fun. And something among many things that you taught us is the importance of handling the sexual being hit on by men in a mature way, so that I'm a mature woman, I can handle it, and while still maintaining their interest, because that's very important. And I've got to tell you, I took that to heart, and I'm handling it very well.
Beautiful. And the men love it, right? Like they want
love
to
it.
play and they want to engage you in sexy talk, but it doesn't just automatically mean that that's all they want to do is get you into bed.
Exactly. And when they, this man who I had the date with, he said to me, "Can I be honest, while we were communicating back and forth on Tinder?" And I said, "Sure." And he said, "So many women in their 60s have no interest in sex."
Wow.
And he said, "They want companionship." He said, "I want an intimate relationship, and sex is important to me." So my response to him was, it's a very important part of a healthy relationship. Mm-hmm. And I said, and I'm one of the lucky ones, because I don't feel the way other women do.
And I can't wait.
Pardon me?
I said, you can't wait.
Right. So I was letting him know that.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. And being able to talk about it as mature people, and not just, brushing it off or running away from it, but really welcoming it. Because it's
exactly. I wanted him to feel heard by me, and that it didn't bounce off of me, and that I got it, and I wanted to respond to that.
So Lisa, what else is new for you? What are you discovering?
Well, my way of being is new. I am showing up to dates with men, on phone calls with men, without the frenemy blasting in my ears and judging them, making assumptions about them, getting super excited in the beginning and then just as quickly ending things. I'm showing up fully present with no agenda except to enjoy my time with them and make it fun. That's it.
And at 61, it sounds like you're meeting some of the best men you've ever met in your life.
I am attracting some wonderful, high quality men, and I'm blown away by it.
Yeah.
Because before your program, I wasn't attracting wonderful, high quality men. I was attracting avoidant men and men who were inconsistent. Their interest lasted for maybe the blink of an eye, and then they were gone. And that's the way my life was for 12 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And I thought to myself, I have wonderful qualities. I've got to get rid of this stuff that's keeping me single, though. It's really tormenting me. And I can tell you that my journey had to take me through those other 5 coaches, yet I can save everyone who's on this call a lot of time and money by letting them know that you're the only love coach, really, Lisa. And I really mean that. I really do.
I didn't pay her to say that, by the way.
Oh, not at all. And next to your husband, I'm your biggest fan.
Aw, I know that, Lisa. I do. But, it's such a gift to me. I am so passionate about what I do. And it really is, thank God, to find your call, to find the love of your life and your calling, in one lifetime is pretty amazing. But to be able to work with women like you, to coach beautiful women, to give them, this is just, for me, I'm like a kid. I'm just sitting here listening to you, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is so amazing that we were able to create this together, this transformation, that you're this new woman and you watch this, right? You're one of many. You see this, right? Talk about the group calls and what it's like today, right? Just today on that call, Benjamin, we got off it and Benjamin looked at me and said, oh my God, that was an incredible call.
The group calls have been like my oxygen and my food. Without them, I don't feel really, I feel like something's missing. And I look forward to those group calls twice a week. And I'm glad that I lost my job at the time I did, because I was able to fully commit to being on every single group call and every one of your Facebook video calls. And my intention when I signed up for your course, like I said, was to give it my all and to get as much as I could out of it and be a big sponge. I followed your coaching to the letter, and I'm so glad I did. I know I had a little bit of resistance when I was seeing that guy Mark at the beginning. I was a tough nut to crack. I'll admit that. And thank God you got through to me. Because
well, and I don't quit until I do.
Oh, you got my attention when you told me you're concerned that I might be alone for the rest of my life. It was like, huh?
Did I say that to you?
Yes. And I was being a pain in the ass, and you were great. That statement to me, it was like throwing cold water on me that I needed to have.
Yeah.
Thank you for not giving up on me.
Well, how could, there's no way. But the other, I think you have to have sort of a great client and a coach who's willing to be loving, but really go to the truth, right? And look, I didn't get to the relationship that I'm in by taking the easy, like this was no walk in the park. I had to do, I had to take some deep, hard looks at myself to be able to let go of my entitlement, my walls, my whatever was going on, right? We have to do that. And it takes somebody who has the wherewithal to see it and call it out, and be able to get in there with a client and not let them go, but lovingly, give them what do you call it? The castor oil?
Yes. And you did all that and more with me, Lisa. I mean, I'm so grateful to you. You have impacted my life in the most profound ways. And I mean what I'm going to say. You have been the best thing that has happened to me the second half of my life, truly.
Wow. Right back at you, Lisa. I mean, I really love you. And it's been such a joy to have you in this course. There's just not words to express to you. I think, how many guys have you been out with now?
I really love you too. I don't know. I would say in the 12 weeks, probably it's safe to say close to 15. I don't know. But I can tell you this, that the men that I have seen and gone out with in your course, I probably would have nexted 99% of them had I not been in your course, and missed out on some great men.
And what's the difference? Like, why are you dating these guys now? What is it that's making you say yes to them?
Everything I learned from you, that that there are great men and nobody's perfect. And this man who I had the date with, I mean, he's got a son in high school and a daughter in college. And, he's carrying the ball because he's a widower. And I thought to myself, if I set that stuff aside, what do I think of him? He's a great guy. And I can live with that. It's not like his kids are 8 and 10, I mean, they're going to be adults soon. And he said to me, I just want a life. I want to move forward. So I thought to myself, look at what's standing in front of you, girl. And you had a great conversation with him. So what? His kids aren't your responsibility.
Wow.
So I'm open to all possibilities now.
And you would have said no to him before.
Probably.
Widowers are good.
I heard.
Yes, yeah. Widowers.
He's smart and he takes care of himself. Healthy lifestyle is important to me. He has a nice build. I felt comfortable with him, and a connection for a first date. And I was really impressed that he texted me just 2 days after our date and well before next weekend to ask me out for date number 2 for next weekend. I thought, wow, I like that a lot.
That's amazing. That's really lovely. That's lovely. And in the meantime, you're dating other men too, right? You've got other men that you're talking to and planning dates with, and some are going by the wayside, and there's, you're really sorting through them.
I am. And one man showed up from my past, and we had a date last week. And it turned out to be a great date. And I remember that when we spoke on the phone again, I said to him, I'm really curious. What made you decide to call me again? And he said, well, you were the one who decided you don't want to see me again. And I thought, what drug was I tripping on that I decided that? So when we met for our date, I said to him, Jay, the only thing I could think of that, led to that response from me was that you have a very full schedule. And he said, I do. And so, when he walked me when we walked outside afterwards on our date, I said to him, I told him I had a wonderful time. And if he asked me out again, I would say yes. And he said, okay, well, just give me a chance to get a handle on my schedule. And I said, sure.
Nice. And you said it just the way that you needed to say it. Boy, did you take notes.
I sure did. And then I asked him if I could give him a hug. And he said yes. So, he leaned in. Wow. He's got to be like 6'5" or 6. He's huge. And I was in my heels. So it was really fun. I always attracted really short men in the past also. But we had a very nice connection also. And I thought, it'll be great to get together with him again. And if not, then so be it.
That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. What would you say to women? Any coach, you may have invested as much or more in some of these other coaches. It's not an inexpensive thing to hire a top coach. Right. And Lisa, can you talk about that? Because it really, I talk to women all day long, and they will bare their souls to me. And then it comes time to have to take out their credit card, and spend money to solve these, lifelong problems that really are heartbreaking for them. And when it comes down to actually making a decision to solve it and signing up for coaching, they won't do it. They won't invest in themselves. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. My biggest priority is for me to be happy and to be in a love relationship. I shared with you probably the first 22 years of my life. I was in a very abusive relationship with my mother. She was horrible to me. And I'm not going to go into the story. So my whole life, I wanted to be in a loving relationship with a partner. And I was married for 20 years. We both have avoidant attachment styles, which is why I'm convinced it didn't work.
Wow.
He was withholding of his affection from me. I'm a very affectionate person. And finally, one day I decided I just can't do this anymore. So I took the leap of faith. I asked for a divorce during one of our arguments when he said, maybe we should get a divorce. And the last 12 years have been all about learning about myself, doing work on myself, and really clearing out what had to be cleared out. It's like a major excavation to get me to this point where I am ready, and ready from your point of view, and that I can be the type of partner that a man would really love to be with.
And not pushing them away.
Exactly. I was pushing them away all the time. And now I'm not pushing them away at all. And it just feels so good. And I'm loving it. Really, really loving it.
It's not, and this is a woman, by the way, I want everyone to get this. Lisa lost her job during the pandemic, and it's not stopping her from dating, from going for her dream, from feeling wonderful about herself and her life. It's pretty extraordinary to see you, Lisa.
Thank you. And, I decided that I will end up in another job. God has always provided for me, and I have every bit of confidence that I will not have to worry about money. And I feel very passionately about this and the importance of investing in myself. I think that as women, we have to ask ourselves, what's more important to us? Making the investment and getting the life of our desire, or growing old alone, very likely, and dying sad, and feeling completely unfulfilled, and that we missed that dream, that reality. So I took the leap of faith, having lost my job and everything. And I'm so glad I did, because your course is worth much more than you charge. And thank God you don't charge much more, because I definitely wouldn't have been able to swing it. But it's worth far more than that. And I did pay more than that for one of the courses I took with another coach. And
yeah, I actually talked to a client who said that she was talking to a coach, and the coach actually asked her how much money she made, and then presented her with a price to work to do the course. And it was, I think, for a 3-month course, something like $36,000. It was an unbelievable amount of money after she had told him how much she made. I mean, it was incredible. I almost fell off my chair.
Wow. If anyone has the right to charge that, it's you. But I'm telling all the ladies here and men, if there's men here, save your money, invest in Lisa. That's the one way to, and she's not paying, honest to God. I ended up with far greater results than I ever imagined possible. And I owe it all to you, Lisa.
Oh, honey. Well, having you in the course was a joy. I don't know who's on the call. I know a lot of clients are, but I'm curious also, to hear if anybody, I don't know if anybody has questions. I have women who do my course who are teachers and are on fixed incomes, who make, $50,000 a year, and who have said to me, Lisa, when I heard you, I said, that's my coach. And they came on a call with me. They didn't know what I charged. And I've had several women who have gone through the course and said, I just knew I could put it on a credit card. If I paid $100 a month, it would have been the best investment I could have ever made, because I wanted to have a truly beautiful, wonderful, loving relationship. And I really believed in my heart of hearts that you would get me there. And I did. Many of these women who took that leap and invested in themselves, went through the course and now are with their partners. So it's extraordinary. Lisa, can you share a little bit about what's different about my approach? Because you have this experience. I know you said, other coaches give strategies, but I'd love for you to really, because you have this experience of 5 other coaches, to talk about, not like, what is it about the way I work or what I do, about how I guide all of you. Because I know my approach is different, but I want to hear from you what's different about it.
The way you show up in your authenticity, and you are sharing information with us to get us to the point of meeting the guardian of our soul based on your own experience, and taking your experiences and having crafted a program that will get us through this, doing very deep inner work that, I never experienced with any of the other coaches. I mean, deep inner work to them was identifying your negative core beliefs and patterns. Yeah. but you go much deeper, with the relationship stuff and really identifying patterns with our past partners and relatives and who we attracted into our life. Really going deep with that. And then your formula for coming up with the final 5. And that first month where, we're not supposed to date is really deep inner work, deeper than I've ever experienced in any program. And I'm really glad. I mean, I was seeing Mark, but yet at the same time when it ended, I wanted to focus on myself because your program was that transformational the whole time, and especially in the first month. And I can't really describe it. It's like I just wanted to be with myself during that time to make this happen. And your wisdom and your confidence and the way you show up, it's like you're holding us, and you create a real environment of safety, so that we can open up and be fully vulnerable. I mean, I had a history of isolating when I cried most of my life.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, even when I was married, I would go into the other room. And then when I was bawling like a baby in front of 35 women, I mean, that just amazed me. And I feel like when I was crying that day and very uncomfortable and not knowing what was happening with me, you really held me up and said, don't worry, it's going to be okay. This is what you're going through right now. And I completely trust you. I trust you with my life. I've shared more information with you about myself than I have with most people, Lisa.
Oh.
And I'm so glad I did.
Oh, honey. Me too. Me too. I think, one of the things in the course is that first month is really designed to create a real inner transformation. So, that whole first month, just, you focus on yourself, but you're really doing this transformational inner work. And it's a process. It's not, a bunch of strategies and techniques okay, now make your wish list, now do this, now do that. Those things are there, but they're part of very deep inner exploration.
Absolutely. Transformational beyond what I even imagined possible. And I'm constantly getting feedback from the women about how I've changed, which feels so good. When I started your course, I had an edge to my voice that just really bothered me.
Right? Lisa, the edge is gone. I didn't know. Oh my God, I'm so glad you said that.
Oh, I couldn't stand to watch myself on the video. It hurt me to watch myself. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I forgot that. I forgot about the edge in your voice. It's gone.
Thank God and thank you. Yeah.
Wow. I'm blown away.
Yeah, when I was with Patrick on Sunday, it occurred to me in the middle, I thought, I have to monitor my voice, make sure there's no edge. So I guess there wasn't because he asked me out on a second date.
Oh my God. That is so amazing. You are so much softer. You're so much more in your body. Your beauty is coming through. That guard, Lisa, that you had up with your mom from your childhood, there's something about just not, you can't just, this is what people don't realize. And I hope that there's some women listening who are not, just clients who are really hearing this, because it is, you can't see your own walls. You can't see them. And it's like, you can go on a million dates. You can look at profile after profile, right? But if you can't, if you have that edge in your voice and you have that wall up, just because you want to take it down doesn't mean that you can take it down. You've got to do the work.
It's true. And I had gorgeous professional photos before I took your course. And I thought, why am I not getting interest from men? Look at how gorgeous these photos are. And yeah, you're right. The edge was there. The judge, jury, and critic was there, you know, making assumptions. My energy and how I showed up was there. I was leaking negativity all over the place, even though I tried not to. I mean, no wonder there was no interest. And now it's like it's raining men all the time.
And this is at 61, ladies. So those of you who say, I can't meet good men, you know, online dating sucks, all the guys are jerks. Lisa had that experience. She went through that just like all of you are going through it. And look at her now. And this is because she was willing to do the work on herself, to give herself this gift of transformation. And it's profound. And I think the other thing to really know, for people to know, is that this was 3 months of her life. 12 weeks. She was able, by doing this course, to have a real profound and lasting transformation.
And I completely surrendered to you in everything you taught me. And that was really important, I believe.
Yep. One of the questions I ask when we're on those calls, when I'm deciding if you're going to be if I'm going to invite you to become a client, is, are you coachable?
Well, I felt seen by you and heard by you. And you picked up on a lot of stuff with me in that one call. I was blown away, Lisa. I was blown away by you.
Wow. I'm glad I picked up on that stuff.
Me too.
It was a good call, right?
And you had a lot to work with to get through to me with those 5 other coaches not being able to.
Yeah, I was surprised after having done all that you would do it. And I know you were a little bit hesitating. Like you were hesitating, and rightfully so,
Financial piece and being unemployed. Yeah.
All of it. But, I mean, your commitment to yourself and your willingness to follow your own heart, and listen to your own inner wisdom was extraordinary. And somebody put on here, I can't remember who it was, that you should be a love coach. I think it was Patty that said it.
Yeah, you did. Thank you, Patty.
And Gloria says that she's so happy. That's sweet, Gloria. Thanks, honey. No, I mean, look, I know, I've had experiences where I've looked for professionals to help me in different things, and I've had to go through, just because somebody charges a lot of money or has a big presence or, has a good sales shtick, I've gone through just trying to find web designers and creative people. I go through, I mean, I don't know how many thousands of dollars I've spent trying to find good design people, and it's hard. I mean, it's hard, especially because the internet, you can, throw up a great website and look really good and make yourself seem like you know what you're doing. But there's a big variety in, what people really can, offer and what they can deliver.
Right. Well, I would tell all of the ladies on this call to completely throw out all the information that all the other love coaches are spewing onto the internet and just go off of what you present, Lisa, really. I mean, I'm talking about firsthand experience I'm having with the men and how I'm showing up now as a result of being coached by you and going through your program. And the results are truly amazing.
Yeah, Tyra said, Lisa's teachings are practical and void of any games. All of my relationships improved based on what I learned. My relationship with my 19-year-old son really improved. And we had a woman on the call today, on our group call, who almost had everybody in tears because she was describing a relationship with her daughter that she thought she could never have again. She and her daughter, she was able, because of the work that she was doing in my course, to be present for her daughter. And, I guess her daughter, had hysterics and was really upset with her mom, but she was able to be with her. And the two of them reconciled, and now they're talking every day. And, this was a miracle in this woman's life that was just sort of a byproduct of doing the course. Even her ex-husband, she's getting along with. So, you learn a lot about relationships in the course, and coming from love and heart and compassion. It's not about leaning back and making guys chase you. It's actually about understanding men and loving them and learning how to have deep compassion. And for two people, man and woman, just to meet in the middle, to really meet in the middle in a place where they can, honor each other's differences and similarities, and just, celebrate relationship together, emotionally naked relationship. Lisa, you're so close, honey. I just know it's going to be only, a matter of time before this happens. You're a catch.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm finding also that I'm speaking my truth more to men and not really holding back. And to be honest, I do get uncomfortable with some of the questions that some of the men ask. And in the past, I would have said, oh, that's a discussion for another time. Whereas now, uncomfortable or not, I answer the questions. They're not inappropriate. They want to know things. So I answer them.
Yeah. They want to know. And you feel safe. I mean, you feel confident and safe, and, you're just being real with them and being kind.
Yes.
Kindness is the number one thing that we're all really looking for in relationships.
Yes. And I'm finding that some of these men are afraid to say things to me as a woman for fear of being attacked. Jay said, well, if it's okay for me to say it, I find you attractive. And I said, of course it's okay. Thank you. And I thought to myself, what have these men experienced that they are gun shy about expressing themselves? I think that this course should be, if more people took your course, there'd be less divorce. I'm convinced of it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Thank you. I'm sure of it. I'm really sure of it. And the quality of the relationships that my clients find is amazing, amazing, amazing. Like, one of my women is in truly met the guardian of her soul. She's in my mastermind group. And when she talks about that relationship, and the arc of the relationship and everything that she went through, it's so incredible to hear this, but it's like, it could be me talking, right? Even when you heard some of the women today on the course who are dating on the call, who are dating men, who are starting to see one guy consistently, you can hear the repetition in the conversation of those hallmark things that they say, that where you think, okay, this is not like any other relationship I've had. I would have said no to this guy. He's not my normal type. He's building on me. I wasn't so crazy about him when I first met him, but each date I'm getting a little more, and Benjamin and I are just sitting there looking at each other, because that was us. It was date 5 that we opened up about finances and deeper issues. And, so yeah, it's really fascinating to see that these, to see how these things unfold, and how these women, how people really do find these guardian of your soul. It's not a lie. Like, when I talk about a guardian of your soul relationship, that really is the end game for the women who go through my course.
Right. Yes, and I know some of them, and it's
Yeah.
incredible. I mean, you have an amazing impact on so many women, Lisa.
Aw.
It's
Well,
true.
I attract, so for whatever reason, I get the best clients. I get to work with women like you, Lisa. And this is just, I don't know. I don't know if anyone has any questions or anybody has any dating questions or questions for Lisa, questions for me. Um, Here, for instance, what question would make you feel uncomfortable, Lisa? Martha asked. Like, what would be one that you would a man would have asked you that you wouldn't have wanted to answer?
Why I've been single for so long, because that means I'm going to have to risk sharing information with him that he might not like me afterwards or be interested.
Wow.
So, yeah. I mean, now knowing the truth of why I have been single for so long, it's because I have the avoidant attachment style, And what I've been telling men when I tell them about the program is that this has been the best gift to me and to whoever I end up with. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but
You're not. You're doing great. But what would have been, so now what would you say to somebody, a man, if he asked you why you're still single?
I hadn't found the coaching program that I just completed. And now I believe that my singlehood is going to be short-lived.
Yeah, I think, Lisa, you are just such an example of a woman who is feminine in her body. We barely talk about feminine energy, masculine energy, any of that stuff, right? Like somewhere in the course, there's dialogue about becoming the woman that you've always wanted to be, and what kind of woman would do you aspire to become? But look at you. Like somehow you are like the cat, the caterpillar that just emerged into this gorgeous, beautiful, radiant 61-year-old woman who is in her power. And maybe as beautiful. I saw pictures of you when you were young, but look at you. In some ways, you're even more beautiful now.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you so much. My whole life I've chased happiness, and now I can say I'm really happy.
Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Does anybody have questions about coaching for Lisa, for me, about dating? Anybody? Anyone? We could sit here and talk all day long. So maybe you all have some questions or some feedback or anything. Anything that you want to know about coaching. Cordelia, you had asked about the cost of the program. I discussed that on a call with you. So if you want to come on and do a call with me, you can reach out to me and watch my my online presentation. You can go to lisashield.com, and I have a 45-minute presentation. And then if you like it, you can then book a call with me and you and I can talk. So I'd be happy to jump on a call with you anytime. Anytime. Lisa, it's been such a joy. Yeah, Martha says it's beautiful to hear that you're happy. This is the most beautiful thing, because when people do my program, what's your question? When people do this course, the beauty of this is that they, it's really an investment in themselves. A course is just a course, but when people step up and they make this investment, what's so beautiful is that they know that they're worth it. They know that they're at a point in their lives where they're going to do the work. They're ready to do the work, because no woman is going to make an investment like this if she is not committed to actually doing the work. So even though this may be the very best program out there. And I really feel that it is. Look, I'm a Virgo, I'm a perfectionist. So
it is. It is.
But, it's only as good as the clients who take it. So, it's, in many ways, it is just a course. It takes a Lisa Cohen to come along and throw herself into this and really take what I'm giving her to get this kind of result. Karen says, for those of us in our 60s, when do you discuss finances with the man you're dating and how do you approach it? Karen, somewhere, if you're really dating, it seems like somewhere around the 5th date seems to be a time where people start opening up more about some of these more personal, deeper issues. So, I would say it could be anywhere after the 5th date. But, and by the 5th date, you would have been going out somewhere but around, 3 weeks to a month. And so, yeah, that's usually a good time. Anne says, I noticed in your profile, Lisa, that you meditate. Is this something you started since being in the program? And if so, how has it helped you?
I started it before I started Lisa's program. And it helps to get me centered and in a peaceful place. And I actually purchased a Brain Entrainment Program, which to me is helpful. I'm going very slowly with it. And it's wonderful. If I go without meditating a day, I feel it. And I believe that meditation actually stimulates the production of serotonin from what I can remember. So it's part of my daily care along with exercise every day.
Beautiful, beautiful. Linny says that you're glowing and radiating. A guardian of your soul is going to be one lucky man. Very sweet.
Thank you, Linny. I love you.
Yeah, Siham said, now that I have to bring down my entire profile and am interested in a man, how can I just talk to him on the phone or email him? I'm not sure, Siham, pardon me?
Isn't she pretty new in the program?
Yeah, she's not, you shouldn't necessarily, I mean, she knows, but she had dated this one guy. Sometimes, Lisa, people start the program and they're seeing one person or they've gone on some dates. I technically prefer that they wait and actually put that person on hold, but I don't think it's good to date in the first month at all. But Siham, you can just, I don't know, I'm not sure I fully understand. Siham, the truth is most of these guys are going to come and go. So, if you don't change, nothing's going to change. Einstein said you can't solve a problem with the same mind that created the problem. So, if you're going to create a change, you're going to have to change so that you don't keep doing the same thing. And if you're going to get a different result, you're going to have to change yourself. So, and even now your focus is all about this guy and not on you. I just want you to see that, like you're really thinking about this guy, and I want you to pay attention to how much you're thinking about him rather than focusing on doing the work in the course. So just make sure that this isn't becoming a preoccupation or something that's taking you away from the course, because if it is, it's not a good thing. You really want to make that first month of the course your number one focus and your number one priority. If you want to talk to him, you just email him. And you can talk to him on the phone, or you can email him however you want, but I would prefer that I know you don't want to lose the opportunity to connect, but believe me, there's going to be more men and maybe even better men. So, just check in with yourself and make sure that you're not too obsessed with it. All right, everybody. Tyra says nearly all of us struggled initially with dating more than one man at a time. And trust me, Lisa knows what she's doing. I was one of the reluctant ones, but I listened to her and it worked out very well. Yeah, because Tyra, you met somebody right at the beginning, that you were very excited about. And then, that one ended. And because you were dating multiple people, it allowed you to just keep staying out there and not lose any time. The biggest thing that most of us don't realize is that, we waste a lot of time when we're just, going from one guy to the next guy to the next guy, because we focus on that one person. I mean, think about it, Lisa. If you were just dating one guy at a time right now, and you just focused on one guy, and you were waiting for him to text, and you fixated on that one guy, that would be crazy making. And it would take you so much longer, right, to get to your guy. So when you're dating multiple men, can you talk about that for a second?
Yes. When I'm dating multiple men, I'm not thinking about one guy. I don't obsess about one guy. I'm enjoying all of the attention from several men. And when I first started seeing mark number 6, and I mentioned something about taking down my profile because he's interested, and you said, no. And then I'm glad that I didn't take it down. And I thought to myself, I have to tell Lisa that the next time I mention that idea, to smack me across the head. Because I'm so glad I listened to you. Now, 2 days in a row, I was on the phone with 3 different men. Those 2 days.
And they get better and better as you get better and better. Like the more you open up, the more you unfold, you're able to relate to them better, you connect better, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I remember telling a friend of mine who completed your program that, when I had the 11 men interested in me, that I was feeling kind of tired. She said, it's a good thing you're not employed, because managing your love life has become a full-time job. And then I had one day of a trickle off, and I said to the universe, okay, I was only joking. Please continue to send the men. And that's the only way I'm going to do it, to find the guardian of my soul, is to date multiple men.
Well, because they burn, many of them burn out very quickly, or you overinvest too much time and energy trying to make one work, and each one work. And then, there's a better guy, or a guy that's just going to be the right guy, and you're going to know it. Gloria said, I have a sincere question. Do many younger and middle-aged men not know how to date these days? Is it usually men 50 and older? Seems the younger guys I had met on the dating sites only want to go out to dinner and sex. They don't want to do anything else. I've not been focusing a lot on the dating apps much lately, but again, working on myself. It seems a lot of guys don't work on themselves. If we change to be healthier minded, will a relationship work if they haven't done the hard work? Lisa, you want to answer that?
Yes. Well, I found that a lot of men don't work on themselves, yet some of them do. Some of the men my age have gone for therapy. They've been in counseling. Many men my age have been through bad divorces, bad marriages, and they've been hurt. More and more, I'm finding that men have been victims of infidelity, and they have a hard time healing from that. Men want a connection with us. Some of the younger men are definitely geared towards sex. They want to spread their seed, blah, blah, blah. And I've actually been contacted by them. A 32-year-old contacted me, asking me if I wanted to have a discreet sexual encounter. I was very nice to him, but I thought to myself, I don't date children. I want to date men my own age. But I didn't tell him that. I was very nice. So, yeah, but there's men out there also in all different ages who I believe have their act together. It's just a matter of becoming the woman who attracts that.
Listen to Lisa Cohen. The more, Gloria, you're in your heart, the more you soften, the more you become the kind of woman who really understands men, who loves men, who can draw them out. You will start to really bring out the best in these men. And, a lot of them, what they do is, a lot of these guys really are great guys, but they sit across from you on a date and they decide very quickly if you're together enough for them. And if they don't think you are, a lot of them will play the short. They'll play the short game. So what they'll do is they will they'll hit you up for sex because they know that they don't want to date you long term. They'll notice things about your personality, how you're acting, whatever, your lack of self-confidence, the fact, maybe, I'm not saying you personally, but they'll notice a woman's lack of self-confidence. They may find a woman who, that she's self-absorbed, whatever, she's superficial. And so they're, just like we're sussing them up, sussing them out and sizing them up, they're doing the same thing with us. And if they pick up on, a woman is high drama or whatever, they will definitely go out to dinner with you and hit you up for sex, but they're not going to stick around for more than that. But if you know how to handle men and a man sees you as like, wow, she's something else, like, I really could enjoy spending time with her. She's different than other women. She's confident. She's got herself together. She's soft. She's kind. She's nurturing. Those men are those are the women the men are going to go for. Those are the ones they'll play the long game with. So, there's a lot to learn here. I know, this is where love, working with a great love coach can really change everything. It's a game changer. All right, Lisa, I think we did it. You are amazing, amazing. And I am, oh, thank you.
Well, you're amazing, Lisa. I could not have done this transformation without you. There is no way in the world. Well,
we were a good pair. We were a great team, Lisa Cohen and Lisa Shield.
Yes, actually, yes. I once said to someone, you've got to have a Lisa in your life. There's nothing like it.
On that note, ladies, thank you for joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lisa, thank you for being our guest tonight. It was so much fun. Thank you to everybody who stuck around. And I'll see you next week. I do this every, Tuesday night at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So please come back, bring your friends, tell everybody about these Facebook Lives. And if you enjoyed it, please give us a heart or a thumbs up. I love to see those thumbs up and those, I like to see the thumbs up and the hearts up there because it lets me know that you all enjoyed it. And thank you to all my beautiful clients who came on tonight to support us. All right, everybody. Love to you all. Good night, Lisa. Thank you so much, honey.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Good night.